So if you've had a dream about a car, if you had a dream where your brakes weren't working, if you've had a dream about driving, if you've had a dream about driving off a cliff or not being able to drive, or your car not working, or your brakes stalling out, this is the video for you. This is going to be all about the meaning of dreams about cars. So this is a very common dream, and if you've been on my channel before, you know that I'm not really going to give you an interpretation the way most people would. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it means. I'm going to give you questions to explore so that you can go back into the dream that you had and try to reflect a little bit deeper to see if there is something there for you. And I want to say that if you are thinking about the dream that you had, if it's on your mind, if it's on your heart, that probably means there is something there for you. And I can tell you that it's something that could be very helpful for you, whether it's going to help you understand something that's going on, help you feel something that you need to feel, help you get some clarity on something that is going on inside of you. So I really encourage you, and I want to say good job in even watching this video and being curious about what your dream means. And I really hope it's helpful for you to think about some of these questions I'm going to suggest, so you can go back into the dream you had about dreams about cars and think about, what it could be meaning for you. And of course, I would love for you to hit subscribe and leave a comment and let me know what your dream about car is. I like to do little follow-up videos from these videos. I usually post them on my Instagram, and I could very well use the dream that you comment to talk about, so I could go even deeper using examples. So when it comes to dreams about cars, but something I love to think about is sort of the play on driving. So we talk about driving a car, and we also talk about what is driving you, right? What is your inner drive? What is it that you are taking your will and directing it towards? Another thing that happens when we're in a car is we're trying to get from place to place. So very often when we're in a car, there's this sense that there's somewhere we are trying to get to. It's the same thing with our drive, our inner drive inside of ourselves. Where is our destination? Where are we trying to get to? And of course, often we can feel like we're not getting there. Something's in our way. And sometimes it feels like the car is broken. So it's kind of a whole subset of dreams, right? Where either the brakes feel like they're not working, or you're stalling out, or maybe you're trying to drive forward and you're going backwards, or maybe you get to a road and it's all blocked, right? These are all pretty common experiences in dreams about cars. And again, I would always just be curious, of course, first and foremost, how does it feel? When you're trying to get where you're going and you get stopped. Something else I always like to ask people in these dreams is, do you know where you're going? Do you know where you're headed? Because often we can feel really frustrated in the dream that we're blocked, but then when we think about, well, where are we even trying to go? We don't know. And, sometimes that's a really important question to ask, because maybe the reason that we're feeling blocked is because we don't understand where we're trying to get to. Or maybe we're headed somewhere that we're not supposed to be going. Maybe we don't even know where we're going. So that's the first thing to get taken care of. Where are we even headed? And if we don't know the answer to that question, then all the feelings that we have about being blocked, frustrated, that we can't get where we're going, they kind of see them in a different light. Sometimes we know where we're going, right? So that's not always the case. And these feelings about the brakes can often come up because the other side of it, sometimes we're the ones driving, sometimes someone else is driving, or sometimes the car feels like it has a mind of its own. So it's that question again of what is driving you? Are you driving yourself, or is someone else or something else in charge? And let me say, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe sometimes we do need to let go of the wheel and let, spirit take control, right? Let go and let God, right? That's what they say. So sometimes that's what the dream's about, is allowing for some other force to take over our will, to stop being so driven. Sometimes it's not about that. And these are all just places for you to feel into for yourself. How does it feel to let the car go the direction it wants to go? Or how does it feel to feel like you're totally out of control? And you're being driven by something that you don't want to be driven by, or you don't trust. Sometimes you might be invited to take a ride in a car. I've had a few dreamers come in with dreams like this. They'll be invited to a ride. Maybe it's a motorcycle, maybe it's a red Corvette, right? Something, an exciting car. And they might feel a little wary of that. So that's another place where, could we say yes to that invitation? Could we go, let ourselves go for a ride, go for a journey? Or is it important that we say no to an invitation to go somewhere because that's not where we belong? So these are all just places that you can look into and feel into for yourself. And of course, we always want to add in the layer as well of your own relationship to driving. I mean, if you're someone who commutes in your car 4 hours a day, your dream about driving might be very different from someone who doesn't even own a car. So those elements also come into play, and you want to think about like what kind of feelings you have about the amount of time you spend in your car and what you even feel about your car itself. You know, maybe you're really tired of your car. You feel like you're ready for the next model. Maybe you're really proud of your car and it gets messed up, and that brings up feelings, you know. So your relationship to your car is potentially symbolic of, you know, your relationship to how it looks from the outside, right? Because I think similar, I had a video I made about people's houses. Similar to that, your car can kind of represent to other people who you are. Or that's something that can happen like in American society, right? Your car is like symbolic of your status, right? So if someone's messing up your car, you end up with a worse car, you know, these kinds of things can sort of be poking at that place inside of you that's associating your worth with your car. Like it can be really valuable just to ground into like, okay, well, where are you trying to get to? What are you driven by? And if you can notice those places where you're starting to feel like you're out of control or you're frustrated or you're not getting where you need to go, can you just bring yourself into those feelings? Let yourself feel that frustration for what it is. Because maybe it's actually that you're not headed to where you actually need to be going. Or maybe there's a place where you can let go and let the journey take you. Or maybe there's a place where you need to get yourself on the wheel and direct yourself where you really want to be, instead of getting caught up in, you know, those feelings. So those are all just options. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, please leave your driving dream in the comments below. I'd love to talk about them after this. So thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe, and it was great to be with you.